He was someone who came here over 20 years ago, pursuing a better life for him and his family.
Good day, everyone. You are watching Diversity TV. This is your newscast, bringing you the untold stories for the week of March the 4th, 2022, in English and French, from our River Valley studio in Edmonton, Alberta's beautiful capital. Hosted by me, Emi Batoum, your professional translator and mediator in English and French. Sponsored by Vous Plumbing and Heating, now offering fantastic deals for water heaters and furnaces. Here are the stories we gathered for you this week. MLA David Shepherd shares some of the work the NDP has been doing in the area of diversity and inclusion.
We released this report, Your Future, Your Voice. It's available on our website, albertasfuture.ca, and it details in 6 areas of government policy our commitments to uproot systemic racism and address racism within systems of government and the programs and services that are made available to Albertans.
David continued to lay down some key issues that the report intends to tackle.
Care, working to address the issue of healthcare professionals who have international accreditation who are having difficulty being able to work here in the province of Alberta. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We need more frontline healthcare professionals. So we want to see that get addressed. We want to increase the diversity of folks that we have working in the system, because we know racialized folks have better understanding of the needs and the challenges that other racialized people face. In the education system, we've made a commitment that we are going to end the disastrous curriculum that's been put forward by the UCP government. Indeed, that many have raised concerns with from Black communities, from Indigenous communities, from other racialized communities about the lack of consultation that went into portions of the curriculum, and certainly real concerns about how it is approaching anti-racism. We want to make some real commitments in terms of public safety and policing as well. We know there have been incidents of Black women being attacked here in the city of Edmonton and elsewhere in our province. And so we want to work with the federal government to strengthen hate crimes legislation, build on the work we started that is stalled under the current government to create and fund a provincial hate crimes task force, and give more resources and power to the Human Rights Commission and the Alberta Hate Crimes Committee. So you asked about childcare, and certainly childcare is another area we recognize can have a disproportionate impact for a lot of racialized folks who are already struggling in other fronts, and certainly for a lot of newcomers here in the province of Alberta. Under our government, we had the $15 a day childcare, or $25 a day, childcare program that worked with groups like the Africa Center, for example, to provide a very flexible, subsidized childcare program that helped many racialized families and newcomer families here in the province of Alberta. Sadly, that was ended after the current government ended that program. So we would take advantage of the dollars that the federal government has put on the table to ensure that by the end of 2022, we would see childcare fees reduced by 50%. By the end of 2023, indeed, we would ensure that about 27,000 children and families in Alberta would benefit from $10 a day childcare, and that $10 a day childcare would be available to every Albertan by the fiscal year 2025-26. And that would be funding to all licensed non-for-profit, for-profit, and public childcare providers, including the kind of flexible programs that we saw at the Africa Center and elsewhere that provided before and after school care and helped support parents who had shift work as well.
Those words are those of MLA for Edmonton Centre and NDP critic for health, David Shepherd. You may watch the full interview with David on Diversity TV History, Black History Month special, rather. Segment 2. Fashion and Beauty Time on Diversity TV. It's hard to talk about fashion without making a stop at one of the top fashion stores in the community in Calgary, Ethio Afrique, located on 17th Avenue Southeast in Calgary. It was so nice to watch some hot models show off some fantastic men's wear. I know that we like that. Now, from the beauty and the fashion to the business, they all go together. Segment 3, Business News this week. This week, we bring back Njia Asili, a Black History Month special business on helping women manage hair problems such as winter, combing, and length retention.
Since we're still in winter time, I have that question. Are you often afraid to go out to wear your hair out actually during winter time? If that's the case, fear no more. This balm here can help you protect your hair, coat it properly to preserve the hydration, and help you avoid excessive breakage. Continuing on the theme of winter, I would like to introduce to you as my tip the hair and scalp oil, which is an oil that will help your hair to keep the hydration, to be protected. You'll be able to go out during winter time. Your hair will be fluffy. It's perfect for people with thin hair.
Okay. Before we take you on a tour of some local businesses, award-winning realtor Conrad Agler is here to share his monthly real estate update. Listen.
This is one of my listings, 149 Evans Glen Drive, Northwest Calgary. This is in the community of Evanston. The details of the listing are in the link. You can take a look at. But yeah, this has been in the market just for 2 days. It's listed at $859,900. It's a 3-bedroom, approximately 2,300 square foot house, highly upgraded, high-end Gen Air appliances, and more. For the market, we are in a seller's market. We've seen a lot of listings coming up onto the market, but the demand is so high that listings are selling within a week and with multiple offers. So if you are a buyer, this can be a very frustrating time. But you have to make sure that you are prepared, you get pre-approved, and you are ready to make an offer once you find something that you like. For sellers, even though the market is seller's market, just be very careful how you price your home. You don't want your home to be on the market for that long. And we are seeing that as well. Some people feel that because it's a seller's market, they just overprice their properties. And now they have to reduce their prices. So we are seeing properties price reduce coming back onto the market. And also, because of the stress, the pressure, some people are also panicking and making offers that they are not able to keep. So we are also seeing offers falling back where an offer is accepted and buyers are not able to move on, and then they have to, the property has to come back onto the market. So do your homework. For sellers, I will encourage that you do a pre-listing inspection, make sure that your property in a pristine condition. Anything that needs to be fixed about a house is fixed. Get a good realtor. I'm available to help if you need help. Price well, and make sure that you declutter the house, the home, and make sure that it's welcoming. Buyers want to feel like they are living in the house. They want to feel how it would be like to live in the house, and they make their decision based on that. So yeah, so that is my advice for sellers. And yeah, in terms of what you need to do as a buyer, I shared that you need to make sure that you get your mortgage pre-approval ready, and be prepared to work with an agent that is knowledgeable about the market, about the area, and who can guide you so that you can get your dream home. Interest rates we anticipate are going to be going up, but this is even just variable rate. We've had 5-year fixed rate close to 3% now. So I wouldn't encourage that you panic, or I would encourage that you don't panic. Plan properly, and you should be able to get your dream home in this market. My name again is Conrad. My number is 403-690-0809, 403-690-0809. My website, conradaglarealestate.com or conradagla.com. And you can find me on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram, and even on TikTok. So if you need any help with real estate in Calgary, surrounding areas, Alberta, or even Canada, because we cover other cities as well, reach out. The name again is Conrad, and let's get yours done for you. If you have any question as well on real estate and what is happening in the market, we are available as well. I also want to share with you a website, calgaryhousevalues.ca. calgaryhousevalues.ca. When you go there, you put your email there and also a property address. You'll be able to get a report on what that property will sell for, or the approximate market value of that property, and also properties that have sold in the location or in that area the last 3 to 6 months. So don't forget calgaryhousevalues.ca. Provide your email and the property address, and you get that report. And you have any question after that, just reach out and we'll get it done for you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.
Let's take you on a tour of some local businesses in Edmonton and Calgary. We encourage you to support local, as it is very important to the survival of our local businesses.
Unlimited high-speed internet at an affordable price with no contract to sign and no credit check. That's CloudStar. Downloads as fast as 1 gig and the option of connecting to our fiber network to enjoy uploads of the same speed. At CloudStar, technology is our passion, and we believe that the quality of our service is measured by what you get out of it. Revolutionize your relationship to internet, cable, home phone, and smart security with CloudStar.
Segment 4. It was a warm sunny day in Calgary on 17th Avenue and 45th Street Southeast, at the site where Latjor Tuel was killed. His daughter and his sister, with some other family members and community leaders, told Diversity magazine that they want justice, the release of dashcam video, an apology, greater community engagement of the Calgary Police Service, and trust in the investigation. Now, listen to their pleas on site and in front of the Calgary City Hall, calling for justice for Latjor.
What I want is answers. I want to know why my father's life meant so little. I want to know why they did not give him the dignity he deserved. Why did they deploy the canine? Why was his body left there after the fact? Why was there not different intervention? This has gone just far past my father. It's gone past my family. I'm mourning with the whole community.
You're not alone.
This is not just a South Sudanese issue. This is not just an African issue. This is a black issue. I share this skin color with many of you.
Yes.
Many of you. And as it was said, last Saturday it was my father. Tomorrow it could be you, your son. My father was amazing, incredible. He showed love everywhere he goes. And to me, the greatest tragedy of all is that a cry for help ended in his death.
Yes.
I want answers. I want answers from the police. And I want change in this community, not just in Calgary, but in all of Canada, in all of the world.
My father was an amazing man, someone full of kindness. He was someone who would share anything that he had. He would make you laugh on your worst day. He was known as a joker. He loved his community and he loved his family. He was an amazing dad. He was the first person to teach me how to cook. And I still remember waking up in the mornings to breakfast in bed with him. I'm gonna miss him every day. There's a lot of things that I wanted to say to him that I'll never have the chance to say again. And I'll never get the chance to say goodbye. And I'll never get the chance to have him see my children. He was shot while he was having a mental health crisis. He needed help, and instead they killed him in cold blood right here. He was someone who came here over 20 years ago, pursuing a better life for him and his family. He is a former child soldier, and he had PTSD, and he needed help, he needed assistance. He didn't deserve a death sentence, and not the way that he got it. They left him here for 7 hours. They left him here like he was garbage. My father was a great man, and he was not garbage.
I heard that man was shot. I contested it because I believe on this street nobody would shoot Latjor or kill him because he's loved by so many. Man spoke so many languages, is so connected to many people. Usually some few people call him a global citizen because of many languages that he spoke. He was connected to all tribes of Africans. And the man would just make your day, even if you had a sad day. If you were going through a lot, his smile itself, it can brighten your day. He has a beautiful smile that a lot of us will miss. As a leader and as a cousin, I will always miss his smile. This is our community. As so many people would say, so many youth would say, we are here and we'll be here forever. So we want peace, we want relationship, we want coexistence, as this is a multicultural community. So we want respect for all, and we want the right relationship.
From that sad news to another one. Segment 5. What do we have for Diversity TV International News? Russian invasion of Ukraine has drawn protests from around the world, including right here in Canada. Segment 6. What do we have for food this week? And what do you want to eat at Mon Ami Resto this week? Is it fried rice, jollof rice, goat, beef, chicken, fufu? Or you just want to try some many other African delicacies? Go to 13427 on Fort Road, Edmonton, in Alberta. Or just call them at 587-525-2477. Or just go to www.monamiresto.com to place your order. Segment 7, the Inclusion Project. Get to know about the Inclusion Project how making equity, diversity, and inclusion, ED&I, a competitive advantage in your organization, and how your organization can lead with its ED&I journey, or just be considered for diversity awards, please go to www.diversitymark.ca/theinclusive. Now, let us talk about community. Now, let us talk about community. Segment 8. What do we have for community announcement this week? Are you looking for a job-ready program with government funding, income support, and free tuition?
And I'm here today to talk to you about 3 employment programs that Solomon College delivers. The first is our Connections to Employment program, which focuses on preparing newcomers to work in the retail sector. Secondly, we have our Food Service Supervisor Preparation Program, which supports newcomers to develop skills to work in the food services sector. And our final employment training program is our Quest Key Workplace Essential Skills Training Program, which is designed to help newcomers build warehouse technology skills to work in the warehousing sector.
For more information, please contact Solomon College at 780-431-1515 or just send them an email at info@solomoncollege.ca. Now, from caring about your professional career to the budget. Yes, we will talk about Alberta budget. It was released last week with a focus on economic recovery after the pandemic. You want to know more? Just go to www.alberta.ca/budget. And talking about the budget, Edmonton Mayor Amajit Sohi is not happy with the new budget. Quote, "While I'm incredibly frustrated to see that Edmonton was not fairly represented in today's provincial budget, I will not give up. Edmonton deserves a fair deal. When Edmonton succeeds, so does Alberta. This government knows that. This is profoundly disappointing." These words are those of Mayor Amajit Sohi.
Well, I would absolutely reject the premise that firstly Edmonton was left out. Secondly, that it was due to political reasons. That's simply not the case. Edmonton has been included. In fact, we responded to a direct request from Mayor Sohi, and that was for a $5 million investment in downtown revitalization. That was a direct request by the mayor, and we fully funded that request. We added $5 million so that we could fund Calgary's downtown core as well. And we recognize that the challenges around the downtown cores in both of our largest cities are complex, and it'll take significant effort and probably some time to remedy, but that was our direct response to the mayor's request. On top of that, we identified 2 new schools that will be built on top of a number of others that are already in process for Edmonton. There's a number of transportation projects in our capital plan that are underway across the city. We have identified $47 million over the next few years for charter schools. Edmonton will share in a significant part in the charter school piece. And when we talk about when we talk about our approach to labor, skills, and talent, Edmonton is going to be a key part of that. We have, some world-class post-secondary institutions in the city of Edmonton, the University of Alberta, Grant MacEwan University, and others that will no doubt play a significant role in delivering those additional seats that I spoke of in my preamble. And so, again, Edmonton has not been left out. Edmonton will be a key partner in that aspect of the budget.
Our current affairs host, Sunil Phul, shares this from the Ethnic Media Roundtable. Get a listen.
Congratulations for giving the balanced budget, and hope we can continue on the same path. So in the whole conversation, we have realized what is the importance of the energy sector to keep the budget balance. We are talking about the pipeline, but if we go back in 2006 or 7, in Redwater, we planned the new refineries will be coming. 7 was supposed to come, but it never happened. Don't you think instead of pipeline, if we bring the refinery here in Alberta, we will save the job sector, also we will have economy growth, and we can progress more or prosper more?
Well, thanks very much for that question, Sunny. I think that's a question that, as most Albertans have asked at one point in time or another. Would it not be better to refine our own products here instead of exporting the product and having that product refined somewhere else? And that is a great question. Firstly, we do have a fair bit of refinery capacity in the province of Alberta, and as you maybe know, the Sturgeon refinery came on here, actually became fully operational here in the last probably about 18 months, 24 months. And so that's added about 50,000 barrels per day of refinery capacity. But I do want to point out that project was a project of, a joint project with the private sector as well as government investment. It was a project that would take Alberta heavy crude and refine it into a high-grade form of diesel. And it's a project that held great promise. It's a project that used new technology in order to get that job done. And it's a project that is quite environmentally friendly. We're capturing a lot of the carbon emissions through carbon capture and sequestration technology. But, it's a project that we inherited as a government, but it's a project that has cost Albertan taxpayers quite significantly over the years, because ultimately, 2 years ago, we took an over $2 billion write-down on that project based on net present value of future cash flows. The refinery business is a tough business. It's a very competitive business. And I would suggest this, Sunny, what we're doing is we're looking to create the most competitive business environment where a refinery capacity can be built in this province if in fact it's economically feasible. But I would suggest I would not invest taxpayer funds again to build a refinery just because of our experience on the Sturgeon refinery. Now, over the course of this last year, we've restructured the debt in that Sturgeon refinery, and it has resulted in a much improved outcome for Alberta taxpayers in the future. But it is a bit of a lesson in government investment where the private sector will fear to tread.
Boss, like last few months, like in December and January, everyone is talking about the utility bills, and the government did say before the budget came, they are going to give the subsidies. My question not to the subsidies, what we can do so it does not happen again, so no one is getting a bill of thousands and thousands of dollars, which they cannot afford. So instead of reactive, what we can do to be proactive so it does not happen again?
Well, thanks, Sunny, for that question. And yes, we did announce in this budget a consumer price protection measure, patterned after the measure that the late Ralph Klein brought in quite a number of years ago at a time of very quickly accelerating natural gas prices. And so this measure will provide consumer protection when natural gas prices hit a certain point, $6.50 a gigajoule. But you ask a very, very important question. And, as I listen to Albertans, and as we pay our own bills in this province, utility bills, our electricity bills are maybe the most egregious in terms of increases. And so much of that relates to transmission costs, distribution costs, additional rate riders. We know that there's a carbon tax or levy built into all of that as well. And so it's a complex issue. Probably about 4 months ago, I got my head right into the electricity file. I was concerned that our transmission and distribution cost recovery was such a significant part of our bill. In many months, the transmission costs and rate riders far exceeded the actual cost of the electricity. And so I know that in this province, previous governments overbuilt the system. And I'm not blaming previous governments, because at the time it appeared we were going to need that kind of capacity. But at the end of the day, we didn't need it. So we had this, billions and billions of dollars of extra transmission cost build that ultimately we've got to pay for one way, shape, or form. And so it's been added to our bills, and we're paying for it month by month by month.
You know that the second step for lifting health measures was supposed to kick off on March the 1st. And this is real. Since the first day of March, Alberta entered step 2 to lift public health measures and restrictions in schools, venue capacity limits, limits on social gatherings, mask mandate, and the mandatory work from home. However, the Edmonton City Council maintained a mask mandate. From the pandemic to a story that we promise to keep you updated. Last January the 21st, we talked about the call that MLA Kesimadu made to the Edmonton police chief. And that call caused an independent investigation. And we promise to get back to you as soon as we have any update. Now, the verdict from the police call, that police call incident created by MLA Madu after he got a distracted driving ticket in a school zone from a police officer in Edmonton, by an independent investigation, says that the call created a reasonable perception of interference. As a result, MLA Chandro swapped position to become Justice Minister and MLA Madu Labor and Immigration Minister. This is March, and March is all about celebrating women. Here are some major events to keep an eye on. On March the 5th, 2022, join BCW in action for an exciting celebration of International Women's Day Symposium at the Fantasyland Hotel at the West Edmonton Mall. The event is organized between 5 p.m. and 2 a.m. Thank you so much for watching this part of the news, and let us share all those good and bad news with our French viewers. Vous êtes bien sur Diversity TV. Mon nom est Emi Batoum, votre traductrice et médiatrice professionnelle en anglais et en français pour tous vos problèmes familiaux, je voulais dire, professionnels ou autres. Voici un sommaire de l'actualité que nous avons rassemblé pour vous aujourd'hui, pour votre journal du vendredi, le 4 mars 2022. Tout d'abord, député à l'Assemblée nationale de l'Alberta pour la circonscription d'Edmonton Centre, David Shepherd a partagé avec Diversity Magazine des points saillants du travail que le NPD est en train de faire sur la diversité et l'inclusion, Nous avons appris qu'au mois de décembre dernier, il a été publié le rapport Your Future, Your Voice. Votre avenir, votre voix, dirons-nous. Vous pourrez lire l'ensemble du rapport sur leur site www.albertasfuture.ca. Le député continue en reconnaissant que le travail est immense. Mais, selon ces mots, ou dans ces mots, nous proposons de voir comment améliorer l'accès des immigrants professionnels de la santé aux emplois dans leur domaine. Quand on sait les problèmes que nombre d'immigrants professionnels rencontrent ici pour trouver un emploi, oui, c'est un sujet qui mérite qu'enfin les hommes politiques s'y intéressent. Et l'autre point dont il a parlé lors de l'entretien avec Diversity Magazine, c'est définitivement mettre un terme à l'agenda mis en place par le Parti conservateur uni et saisir à bras le corps bien d'autres problèmes tels que s'allier avec le gouvernement fédéral pour renforcer la législation pour lutter contre les crimes haineux, entre autres. Vous pourrez suivre toute l'interview sur www.diversitymag.ca. Dans notre session entrepreneuriat cette semaine, oui, nous passons de la politique à l'entrepreneuriat. Nous avons fait venir Madame Fatou Tao, créatrice de la gamme de produits Njia Asili, pour nous parler des erreurs que nous commettons au quotidien pendant l'entretien de nos cheveux. Et surtout, et c'est la meilleure partie, comment les corriger?
Durant l'hiver, on a souvent peur à cause de la casse excessive que la sécheresse du temps peut causer. Alors, vous n'avez plus besoin d'avoir peur parce que la solution parfaite que je propose aujourd'hui, c'est ce baume qui permet de recouvrir vos cheveux, de les protéger et d'éviter la casse excessive durant l'hiver. Pour continuer sur le thème de l'hiver, je vais parler comme astuce du jour de l'huile qui est faite pour le cuir chevelu et les cheveux. Alors, c'est une huile qui va vous permettre, surtout pour les personnes qui ont les cheveux très fins, de pouvoir quand même avoir vos cheveux naturels durant l'hiver. Et c'est une huile qui n'est pas grasse, c'est une huile qui est légère et qui va permettre de protéger le cheveu, de garder l'hydratation à l'intérieur et d'éviter la casse des cheveux.
Alors, de l'entrepreneuriat, passons maintenant aux nouvelles, nous ne dirons pas tristes, mais moins bonnes. La famille de Latjor Tuel, leader communautaire mort sous les balles d'un policier à Calgary, a des questions auxquelles elle aimerait avoir des réponses. Accompagnée de certains autres leaders communautaires, elle a dit à Diversity Magazine qu'elle souhaite que justice soit faite en un mot. Vous pourrez écouter l'ensemble de la déclaration de la fille du défunt sur www.diversitymag.ca. Actualité oblige, nous ne saurons clore ce journal sans évoquer nos frères et sœurs ukrainiens qui vivent sous les bombes de l'armée russe depuis quelques jours maintenant. Disons non à la guerre. C'est tout ce que nous avions pour vous aujourd'hui et cette semaine. Merci beaucoup d'être restés avec nous. This is all we had for you this week. Thank you for watching Diversity TV Community Newscast. Be the first to get our community newscast as it happened. Please subscribe and hit the bell notification on our Diversity TV YouTube channel. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. Our website, you know it, is www.diversitymag.ca. See you next week, because when it's Friday, it's your newscast from Diversity TV. Thank you for watching.